Looking good, Case.
I worked out.
You work out?
I work out, baby.
I'm gonna do full disclosure tonight.
I don't even want to know what full disclosure.
No, I'm not actually. We'll see what happens. I think we're live.
Yeah, I think.
Definitely live. Definitely live. What is up, everybody? We got eight people have already joined us in 1 second. I love it. That means
they're waiting. We were late because of Rob, by the way, not me. I've been ready to go.
I take full responsibility for tonight. This was definitely my fault for being late tonight. So we're going to get started here in just a minute. We're going to see who all wants to see Case and Rob and Arnie Segovia.
I'd boo you for being late, but it's a sensitive subject. See what I did there?
Yes, I see what you did there. What's up, Roger? Steve Weber, go Brownies, he says.
Oh, no.
He says go Brownies. I don't know about all that.
I really, the whole Cleveland thing's kind of grown on me, and then this week happened, and no, I'm back.
I am a closet Browns fan. I don't know what that means. Sounds gay, but
it's okay.
Whatever it means.
They're good people. Good people. We should be in Cleveland, but stupid COVID.
Yes. Are we skipping? Everybody, can y'all hear us? Okay. Are we good? Because I feel like we're skipping a little bit.
I hear you.
I know you hear me, but
I hear you.
Jason, Rob, and Arnie Segovia.
I think it sounds okay.
All right, we're good. Hi,
we
Linda.
Both made our internet bills, so we're good.
Linda, I feel like I just saw you, Linda. I feel like I just saw you. All right, so let's get this show started, shall we?
Let's go.
All right. All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Smokin Gooder Show, episode number 58. 58, Case. I know you don't know, but I know.
I have no idea.
Episode number 58, and we've got a great one for you here. We're going to have Mr. Arnie Segovia on here in just a minute. Arnie Segovia, a.k.a. ArnieTex. He's got some we're going to catch up with him. We haven't seen or heard from him for a little while, and we're going to catch up with him. We're going to talk a little turkey, Case. We got some Thanksgiving coming up, so we're going to talk some turkey.
Just in time to save all of y'all from smoking, baking, frying dry turkey. You're welcome. So send your we'll post our addresses so you can send us Christmas cards. You can thank us when we have Arnie to save your ass on Thanksgiving.
That is absolutely correct. Let me introduce myself. My name is Robert Rocha, and I'm coming to you from the Bullhorn headquarters in Cypress, Texas. As always, is my show partner, Mr. Case Hahn. I know he doesn't look like Case Hahn, but it is Case Hahn.
Really
How you doing? How you doing, Case?
Good. I'm good, man. Welcome, guys. Coming to you live from my new Texas Pepper Jelly warehouse in Dickinson. I have a handful of products from Craig Sherry, and so pretty excited. And so we've got some cool announcements with Texas Pepper Jelly coming to you. We've got some discount codes for guys that watch the show. Not today.
Oh, okay.
Tune in to episode 57 and a half, whatever's coming up down the road. I don't keep track. Rob does. So
58.
But good evening. I can tell you a couple things. We mentioned not talking to Arnie in a while. All of our podcasts, all the conversations that we've had in the past are on any format that you listen to podcasts. So whether it be Apple or Android, they're all out there. And I don't know what episode it is, but go way back. We were at Wild Bill's over in Lamar. And if you want a really good, it's just all audio because it was just four friends and barbecue, literally shooting the shit between Wild Bill at Texas Select Seasonings, Arnie, and the two of us. That's a fantastic listen to guys just talking barbecue. So if you go look us up wherever you get your Android or Apple, wherever you listen to podcasts, man, I can tell you, dig that one up. Rob will somehow tell us what episode. I think it was episode 14 or something. I don't know. But
I think it was episode 6 or 7. It was really in the early goings of what we were doing here.
but it was it's a fantastic listen for anybody that just got an hour to burn, or it might have been longer. So, but it was good talk.
Yeah. So, Case, how you been doing, man? You doing any cooking lately at the house? Or I know you. So, are we going to announce this thing early? Are we going to wait a little bit on what's going on for your big announcement? What do you want to do?
Well, we'll see. We'll get Arnie on. We'll talk turkey, and then if anybody else sticks around. But excited to have a partnership with Texas Pepper Jelly. They've got 15 ambassadors, and I think over 80 people applied. A blind crew, and it wasn't Craig. Somehow I ended up in the 15. So not sure how, but we'll take it, and we're pretty excited about it. A lot of it had to do with what we do, what you and I do from a tailgating standpoint, social media, this show, everybody that tunes in and interacts with us. So we appreciate that. And so Rob's got a great partnership with Cosmos. Now having a local brand with Texas Pepper Jelly. We've got some cool stuff. And Craig has supported the show and giveaways and stuff in the past. He's been on the show twice. And so I'm just happy to be aboard. And I've got some other announcements coming. I can tell you I won't be working in retail on Black Friday. That's the only clue that the world needs to know just yet as I exit big box retail. So pretty excited about that one. So I'll actually be back on the cooking trail. Just saw the post from Dustin. Do plan on being at the rib shootout at the barbecue store in December. All right, little fundraiser for raising some money for toys for kids in Waller County. So you have nothing on your plans. I want to say it's the 12th of December. Don't hold it. Look up the barbecue store site. They're a great supporter of the show, and I'll be there. Hold 'em and hit 'em's coming up in January. So starting to really look at the calendar. And then if you'll have me, I think I'll be in the Bullhorn trailer for the Trailer Place first annual cook-off in Wharton. And hopefully we can win you a brand new trailer. So.
Absolutely. So before we kick this show off, let's give a shout out to our sponsors. We can't do this without them, guys. Eureka Heights Brewing Company, Rec Tech Grills, Rick's RV Rentals and Repair, Cosmos Q Products. I've been online today talking about Diamond Shine products. That's a great product. All you guys that have bullseyes out there, I know they kind of turn little colors. If you want to get back to that stainless steel shine, hit up Diamond Shine products. Also, Bull Printing Wraps and Graphics, the barbecue store. In case we have one more to add.
Texas Pepper Jelly. We're happy to have all those guys on board. And you're right. I can tell you real quick story before we have Arnie on. My neighbor across the street got him a brand new bull and bullseye and from Rec Tech. And so I walked it over and I said, hey, hit me up a little later. I need to show you some Diamond Shine so you can keep this thing looking good. And so if anybody owns stainless, if you don't know about it, ask Rob or I. If you see us down the trail, we probably have it in our trailers, and we'll let you try some because it's fantastic at getting those things clean.
There he is. Thank you for all the comments. Robert Ramirez chiming in. Hope to see you in January at the Trailer Place Cook-Off. I'll be there. It looks like Case is going to throw his hat in the ring too.
No, Case will be visiting, and I'll be gladly helping you. But that's going to be a ring. That's going to be a stacked ring. I don't know if I'm ready to dust off at that one, but it's going to be. It sounds like it's going to be a hell of an event, Robert.
Absolutely. So we'll hit up on these upcoming events, Michael Triola, who congratulations. We'll hit on you specifically here later in the show. But without further ado, I know we have 55 people watching already. A lot of them are here to see Arnie Segovia. So without further ado, let's bring the man of the hour on. We're going to bring Arnie onto the show. Arnie, there you are, brother. Can you hear us, Arnie? Maybe.
Hey, Case, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you can't hear. If you can't hear Rob, that's okay.
Rob.
That's probably
I can't
better.
hear Rob at all.
Can't hear Rob?
Yeah, I can't hear you, Rob.
Why don't you? It sounds like you did, but why don't you close out and hit the link back
I can
in?
hear you, Case. It's a little cut out, but
real quick, Arnie, just close out real quick and just go back and click the link one more time.
All right, let me try that.
Sounds good.
All right, we're going to remove Arnie from the deal now.
We just had to prove that Arnie really was going to come on our show.
That's absolutely correct.
That was people didn't believe we could pull somebody like Arnie. And we were talking, so those of you that he'll talk about it too, but ArnieTex has a fantastic Come on now. I see that comment. I can still really. Come on, Tom.
Arnie's Army. Go ahead. Say what you're gonna say.
Comments are fantastic. So we do actually follow along for the best we can. So we appreciate the comments, and hopefully it makes for a fun night. Arnie's got a turkey video on his Facebook page. I'm sure he's got a YouTube channel too, but ArnieTex. Look it up. It's something that I've watched multiple times because I am going to smoke a turkey. Don't have to work on Thanksgiving this year. And so I've been watching. There's a lot of resources out there, but I think Arnie's got one that's really fantastic. So I'm glad that he's coming on tonight. And he's been doing a couple on them. That one was done on Hasty Bake. He ran one on Rectech the other day. It looked fantastic. But having him on tonight will be good because if you've got questions or where to find all these videos and tips. And I think we still have time. If you're on the fence, you got to learn how to do it sooner or later. Luby's is closing, guys. And so Luby's will be gone. And so we all have to figure out how to do a turkey ourselves.
All right. So we're going to bring Arnie on, and hopefully Arnie can hear me. Arnie, can you hear me? All right. He can't. That's a yes. Arnie can hear me. You can hear me?
I hear you now.
All right.
Thought it was going to be a better show with just the two of us, Arnie.
That would have been okay.
Yeah. Hey, that's good.
As long as we have a show, right? As long as the show must go on, right?
How are you, brother? How are you doing?
Great. Doing really good, man. I appreciate you guys having me on and letting me hang out with you guys, and appreciate it very much.
So a lot of people that watch this show probably already know who you are, but for those that are maybe tuning in for the first time or a couple times, or who doesn't maybe know who, a lot of Texas barbecue players in the game here, introduce yourself and where you from, do all the good stuff. How long you been doing it? You know the game. What's going on?
Do I really have to tell them that long?
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't miss any details.
Well, yeah. Okay. Well, I'm from the Rio Grande Valley in Edinburgh, and started cooking competitively back in 98, 99, somewhere right around there. So we've been cooking for a long time, a little over 20 years, and we've had our ups and downs, had our fair share of wins, and a lot of times you didn't walk, but we've had a real good time, met a lot of really, really nice people, made a lot of great friends over the years. And so we had a really, really good run the last, I'm going to say like from 2011 to 2017, 18, and had a really good time. And we had a lot of people asking us to do classes or asking me. And so back in 2016, Terry and I decided that we would do one class and hope we got a few people in there. And it actually sold out right away. And so a week later, we were doing another class, and then we're kind of like scratching our head like, well, maybe there's a little demand for this stuff. And so we decided to do a few more throughout Texas. So we did one with Richard on San Luis and San Marcos. We did one with Wild Bill at Texas Select Seasoning up there in the Houston area. Did another one in San Antonio, and a bunch of private ones along the way. And so it's been really, really cool. It kind of fell our way, and that's what we've been doing for the last several years now, 3 years now. Pretty much went full-time competing and teaching. And so we've done well on the competition circuit. In 2017, myself and Ronnie Wade were inducted into the IBCA Hall of Fame. And that was a very, very huge honor and a very humbling experience, and something I never saw coming or even expected, because when you do what we do, you really just do it because you love it, I mean, you go out there, you cook your heart out, and you hope you get a walk, you hope you win, but you're there because you love to do it, and I've always had this saying that, winning's more fun, right? But even if we don't, man, it's fun to try. And so that's kind of what we've always done. And, just had a good time along the way. And then a couple years ago, my son was still in college, and he had this idea. He had this college project he was going to do, and he was trying to figure out what to do. And, he saw, he knew how much we love to barbecue and whatever. So everybody does their own little projects. It's, I guess it was a video class or whatever. And he wanted to do something different, so he picked his dad. And he gave me the name ArnieTex. Actually, it came from my son. And so we just kind of put some videos and a Facebook page together and just started having fun with it. It was a little project for him. lo and behold, it took off. It wound up keeping us busy, and we started getting a lot of followers. And it was about that same time we had just started doing classes, and so a lot of things just lined up and fell in place, and so we've been at it ever since. And this year, actually, for 2020, we had and so we launched our online class last September. It's been a year and a couple of months now, and it was a pre-launch. It wasn't quite complete, but it's taken us about a year to get it really very close to completely finished. And because we've also added some other things along the way and done some other videos, and of course, we try to do a little bit of YouTube, a little bit of Facebook, a little bit of Instagram. At the end of the day, I mean, I just love cooking, man, and barbecue is my main thing. I cook at home, a lot of different stuff all the time, but breakfast is one of my things on Sunday. I love to make breakfast on Sunday, but barbecue is my biggest passion, and by God's grace, we've done well at it and excelled at it. And so the online class launched, and we didn't really push it after the launch because it wasn't a complete class, and but people still kept asking about it, so we would hook them up. In February this year, we decided to go ahead and start advertising it and pushing it, and it's done really well. It's not as much as we wanted, and part of that I think is the whole COVID situation. A lot of cooks weren't cooking, a lot of people were out of a job, and so we weren't the only ones, that were affected by that. I think a lot of people were, but on the flip side of that, it still kind of helped because a lot more people were staying home. And I know that a lot of barbecue pits were sold out, in all the big stores, and a lot of rubs were sold out. So that meant people were still cooking. They just weren't necessarily going to competitions, which was what we more or less specialized in, right? And but we still sold enough and kept adding videos, and we've got quite a few of them in the hopper right now that are in edit. So it's been exciting. It's been a really, really fun time for us. It's just a huge passion that I've had for a long time, and I just enjoy doing it. I really, really enjoy and appreciate the messages that I get, mostly from the newer folks that are just learning, and they're excited because you guys know you're competitive too, and you know how hard it is to get out there and try to win a cook-off, and a lot of guys that get in there, I mean, they don't know what they're doing any more than we did when we started, and so we're here trying to help them out, and so we have like this vision that we want to help everybody learn how to cook great barbecue at home, at the cook-off, at the beach, anywhere you want, man, in the mountains. It's such a huge thing. I think barbecue is synonymous with good folks, good times, great memories, and so I've just kind of always seen it that way. And so that's kind of our vision, to continue building this online class and course and keep adding to it. And we're going to push a lot harder on YouTube as well here in the very near future. We're having this huge Black Friday sale also with all of our online courses. And after that, the price is going to go up a little bit. So if you're looking to get a good class, now's your chance to get it while it's still on sale. It will be going up after Friday, after Black Friday. So that's basically where we're at.
You've unpacked a lot real quick, and I think the whole you went from the beginning. I want to take you back to the beginning here. You mentioned 2011 through 2017. You had a nice run. Tell us about those times. What was working for you then? What did you feel? How did you feel the competition level was at the time as opposed to now? We all know that in 2011. Probably wasn't the same as it is right now because a lot of
not even close. Yeah,
a lot of new men in there. So obviously you had a lot of success early on, and you've pulled it. You're one of the ones that came through with all these new wave of teams that came in here and continued to have success. Tell me about how the challenges were. Were you changing things, and just tell me a little the challenges that you were facing, with these new teams coming in, these new profiles, these new flavors, and how did you keep up above, how'd you ride that wave and stay above it?
Honestly, Rob, it's like I tell people this, and I teach people this in our classes. It's like any other sport. There's some trial and error, but there's a lot of practice, drill, and rehearse. When you're talking about competition, and like they say, there ain't no free. Like, you're gonna have to do some test runs. You're gonna have to do some trial and error. And I like to tell this story because it's true, sort of, in the classes when I do in-person classes. When I didn't win a few times because I couldn't get my chicken on. I couldn't get that chicken call low enough to get a gram. And so I started cooking chicken every single day, trying this, trying that, mixing, matching, injecting, not injecting, brining, doing all kind of stuff until I found the flavor profile that I thought would work. And of course, part of that is you're still going to cook-offs and testing some of that stuff. And so I want to say, I was kind of an innovator as far as flavor profiles go, doing some things that a lot of people were not yet doing. And so I think that was kind of what helped me stay at the top and stay even with a lot of the new teams coming in. And that trend really kind of still continues today. And it's something that I feel like, okay, I opened this Pandora box when I started sharing all the stuff that I knew, and not just me, but there were some other instructors as well. But I think I put out there a lot of things that nobody else was, and it just like brought everybody up to this level where we were at. And so it has made it more challenging. The fun is still there though. You got to go out and try, you got to swing. And, and I tell folks, if you cook 2 or 3 times a year, it's going to be really hard for you to be at the level some of these other guys are at. You kind of got to be out there on a regular basis, once or twice a month at least, to be at that level, because you have to test those recipes. Sometimes you have to adjust them and tweak them a little bit, maybe modify your sauce a little bit or add a little bit more seasoning or take some away. So that's part of it. And I think because we were cooking, we were starting at one time, we were doing like in 2013, I think we did 23 cook-offs. And from there, the next year it was 30, and then it was 35, and then it was 40, and then it was 45. So, you kind of got to be out there in order to be successful. That is the bottom line. But that was part of how we were able to do it, is mainly coming up with injection profiles and recipes that packed the flavor and the punch without being overbearing that the judges liked, and it had to be something that what I call the 6-7-8 strategy, and I don't mind sharing that with everybody. I call it the 6-7-8 strategy because, the judges are at the table and they're structured to give a score between 1 and 10. And what I had always as a goal was just good, well-balanced barbecue. And if I could get a 6, a 7, and an 8, preferably an 8, from every judge at the table, then my cumulative score would be high enough to carry me to the next round or get me into the winner's circle. And I always considered a 9 and a 10 a bonus, and some of those do happen sometimes, but mainly I wanted barbecue that everybody liked. As long as they didn't not like my food, I knew that it was going to score well.
Yeah, that rings true. You get a 9, but if you get a 4 or 5, when somebody really likes it and somebody really hates it, I see the get in there middle of the road type stuff.
Yeah, and I'll give you a real quick example of that, and I'll let you guys ask questions. But we went to Sonny's Smokin Showdown in Florida one year. That was our first ever non-IBCA sanctioned event, and it was a who's who, kind of like the JAG type of deal. We got invited, and we turned our brisket in, our ribs, and our chicken, and our pork butt, which I totally destroyed. He wasn't a pork butt guy, but like my brisket had a couple of 10s, a 9, an 8, and then one dude gave it like a 4 or something like that, and that just like totally threw it out.
Yeah.
You're going like, you scratch your head like, what was that guy thinking, man? The other guys get 10 and 9, But those things happen even in IBCA and pretty much in any sanctioning organization. So that's kind of my point. If you can get the judges something that everybody at least likes, you'll get some good scores.
Yep.
I'm just here to talk turkey.
All right, so you had that success 2011 through 2017, like you said. So you mentioned it. We're unpacking everything you mentioned that first deal, but you are a Hall of Famer. You're an IBCA barbecue Hall of Famer. This may be the only first one. I don't know. We have to go back and look.
No, Ronnie Wade and I were inducted at the same time, and
no, I mean on our show though. I think you may be.
Okay. All right, okay.
I know Craig Sherry just got inducted, but he
wasn't on.
He wasn't.
I think the show pushed Craig over the top.
Yeah, the show got him inducted.
I think the show got him inducted
because you were on. See, Arnie was on the show. See, Craig just needed one more thing on his resume, and it was to be on the show. And then And he had to come on twice, Arnie, to get there. You only had to do it once.
I only had to do it once. Oh, cool.
So talk about that. Talk about that moment you got inducted to the Hall of Fame, what it means to you, and what it took to get there.
It just, like I said earlier, it was a huge honor. Super humbled by that, and it's kind of like I said, just a very humbling experience because your peers, your friends, are the ones that voted you in there, and so that says a lot about, I think, the individual's character. And I do want to say it's not just about being a good cook. There are some other things that requirements, if you want to call it that IBCA uses to get somebody in there. You have to be an ambassador, so to speak, and promote IBCA. Of course, be in good standing. And, being a consistent winner helps too. It makes it look better at the end of the day. So, you kind of do all that together, and it worked out. It was something, like I said, that I didn't expect. I'm not even real sure what all went into getting me inducted. I know that here in Deep South Texas, I was the first guy from the Rio Grande Valley to go out and start cooking IBCA. And Len Shivers and Jeff Shivers, I met them real early on, way back in the beginning. Talk about some really, really nice folks, man. And, Jeff was one of the guys that he'd come over to our camp and tell me, try this and do this. And I still remember to this day, he told me, God rest his soul, he said, remember that brisket? They got to cut it with a fork. He goes, they want it to melt in their mouth. So that was my first real clue into how to cook a really great brisket. And it didn't happen right away even then. It took a little while. But it was a super humbling experience. Super honored to be there. And part of it was that I helped promote IBCA and bring it to South Texas. And now I'm not taking any credit for it. I would give way more credit to Eddie Tapia, but South Texas is probably the strongest region in IBCA from everything I've seen over the years. And so I'm just humbled and, like I said, honored to be part of that at the beginning, and so they've done a great job. They have.
Absolutely. So before we get into some turkey talk, so you haven't been out there on the competition scene this year. I want to ask about Terry. We all love Terry. We all love you guys as a couple. We've all seen you. You are you mentioned part of being a Hall of Famer is being an ambassador, and you are a true ambassador for barbecue, both you and your wife, Terry. How is she doing? How are you guys doing? What is going on with you guys? We haven't seen you out on the trail lately, so give us a little update on all about ArnieTex.
ArnieTex and TerryTex.
And TerryTex.
Yeah, and you're right. She is 100% part of my entire program. I would have never been able to do what I've done or accomplish what we've accomplished together without her. She's my right arm, and she's just always supported me, always been 100% behind me in whatever I wanted to do. And that in itself is a huge, huge blessing to have in my life. And it has allowed us to do the things we've done to where we're at right now. She did go through that breast cancer deal in 2018. And like I said, 2019, I'm sorry. I'm behind the times here. I think 2017 was the last year we really competed full.
Hi, Terry.
They're saying hi, baby. She's sitting over here on the side. That was the last year that we really cooked 40 plus events. And then 2018, we slowed down a little bit. And in 2019, we did more classes and a little bit of running around, not as much. Actually, we didn't cook 2019 hardly at all because she was going through the whole breast cancer thing. And she wound up kicking it, beating it, cancer-free, at the beginning of this year. And then, COVID kicked in. We had a plan for 2020. We still had a lot of people asking for in-person classes. So we were going to go do more in-person classes and also promote our online class while doing that and cook less. And of course, being a competitor, I wanted to do, some KCBS events and just go test my mettle there and see where I stand among those other titans, And so that was our plan. We were going to maybe cook 15 or 20 events out of the whole year. We had already kind of picked a few. And then COVID kicked in. And so we all got grounded and stayed home. And so couple of months back, she was getting a mole or something checked out. They found some melanoma on one of her thighs, and so that was another challenge that we were facing at the moment. And thankfully, they cut this big old chunk of meat out. It was really scary, man. And they said they got it 100%, but she had two other little moles. So tomorrow, actually, we're going to take out number two, and then in a couple or 3 weeks, we're going to take out number three. But you know what? She's a tough, tough trooper, man. I tell you what, man. She may be small and quiet and polite, but she's tough, man. Way tougher than people realize.
She is a survivor. She's a cancer beast. We wish her well. Hopefully everything goes well tomorrow. We love her, and we see her all the time. And she is, like you mentioned, an ambassador. She is the sweetest person. She's always with you in classes and with you in cooking. She's, like you mentioned, right-hand woman for you. So that's great to hear. I mean, hopefully everything goes well tomorrow when you're
Yeah, I think it's good. I mean, from everything they're telling us, this last two are more like precautionary. They feel like they got it with the first one, but they're taking out these other two just in case. So it's better to be proactive
for her. That's awesome.
Thank you. We appreciate those prayers big time. And anybody else want to pray for us, we appreciate it, man. We feel very blessed.
Absolutely. So Arnie, you have been posting some stuff, your classes and whatnot. We'll get to those classes in a moment. But Thanksgiving's coming up. You've been doing a lot of turkey videos, and Case has really been wanting to hit you up with this.
Yeah, I'm stressed out. I'm going to do turkey this year.
Awesome.
And so one thing, Arnie, we talked about doing the videos, and I don't know how many. I don't track all the different. I've watched pretty much all your videos, but a lot of us that have video content on Facebook, you can see stats. Did you ever imagine when you did that video on the Hasty Bake turkey video that it would have been seen 120 something thousand times?
No, I did not. Actually, I didn't. We were just having fun, I mean, we put that video together, and like I said, we're cooking for fun, for passion, and just for enjoyment. And we just live in that society now where a lot of people like to share stuff, and we're just one of them, that we like to share what we know and help people learn how to cook. I used to, before Facebook and social media was so big, I was always a member of all the barbecue forums, and so there was always these new guys coming on, asking questions. And a few of us were always willing to help them out, not just me. There's always these few guys that, are willing to help other new people learn how to cook. And so we've always enjoyed doing that. I have. And so that's kind of where I'm at with that. I mean, just enjoy sharing that. And so that video, and I need to post it. Thanks for reminding me. I'm going to put it on my page again tomorrow. Hopefully we get another 50,000 this year. Last year, it really, really took off, man. And
I shared it as many times as humanly possible. Because people think, well, Case talks to Rob all the time on the internet about barbecue, so he must have smoked turkeys figured out. I'm like, nope, but I got a video for you.
There you go.
A couple of questions that are flying, and I sent a question in the comments, and I've been trying to keep them and read them. So if if you're here to talk turkey, now's your time. If you got questions about turkey, now here's where you fire away, because we're following them. One of the questions that came up, and I thought I knew the answer, but then I saw you do some posts this week. There's talking about cooking the bird whole round or spatchcocking it and opening it out. I know the video, you cut the backbone out and cook it flat, but then you cooked this really badass bird on your RegTech this week that didn't seem to be laid out. So walk us through the two ideas on the techniques of cooking. Is there one you prefer over the other? And what's your thoughts about that one? And we'll move on to some more questions. But keep firing away, guys. We're watching.
I mean, personal preference always comes into play in every type of cooking. The one I cooked on the RegTech the other day was kind of a test run. Terry and I had decided we wanted to do a little short video on cooking just a turkey breast, because there's a lot of people staying home. And as you mentioned earlier, Lubbock is closing. and a lot of other restaurants are not able to handle the big crowd this year. And so we wanted to do something for the folks who stay home that maybe don't want to cook a whole turkey. Maybe not everybody's able to get the whole family together. So they wanted to just maybe cook something small like a turkey breast. So we
That's a
picked
great
up a
point.
couple of them, and
Mhm.
we did that one on the RegTech. It turned out phenomenal, better than we expected actually, or that even it exceeded my expectations. It was a butterball, so I mean those are kind of a head start if you want to call it, it's because they're kind of pre-injected with flavor from the factory, and
No.
it just turned out really really good. I mean, I just put it in there and set it at I think it was 250 or 255 somewhere around there, and let it run, for a couple of hours. Then I put it in a little pan and wrapped it with some butter and some foil, and man, it just turned out fantastic.
See
That's one
how
of the cool
easy to
things
make
about
this
those
sound?
pellet grills. That's one of the cool things about those pellet grills, man. You just go turn that button on and you get real barbecue flavor. And I know some guys are still not on that bandwagon or still don't want to accept them, but man, they just are convenient. They are great cookers, and I'm not going to say that they're going to ever replace everything else. I'm a hardcore, old school barbecue guy. I like charcoal, I like wood, um, but man, I still love my pellet grill, man. It does an awesome job when I don't have time. They're super convenient, and they cook great.
So now I'm making mental notes because I haven't been to the grocery store yet. So um, I've never done a turkey before. I go to
Hmm.
Louie's, our mother-in-law.
There you
Uh,
go.
so there was a question about brining, and I'll get your opinion on that one. And I know that in the video you've got a homemade brine that you do. A lot of
Yes.
guys have brines. Cosmos has a brine. Our friends at Lucky Charms, Phil Breeden, just came out with one just in time for Thanksgiving.
Perfect
So
timing.
what's your personal view on some of the brines that you can buy pre-made versus making your own? And then to your point, can we circle back on the comment on the butterball having some of that flavor already in there? Is that something that you still would brine?
I would not still brine that one because it's already injected from the factory, and it already has a lot of great flavor. And if you want to test the waters, I mean, I would be very careful with the salt content because it already has it in there. Honestly, I mean, that one I cooked it and didn't do nothing to it except season it with a pork rub that I've been working on that we're hoping to get to market by the end of the year. And it just turned out fantastic. I would be cautious as far as brining or injecting a butterball. Now, if you get one that's not a butterball, then by all means, I'm a big fan of brines and also injections. And as far as preference, I personally prefer a brine. I just think it puts all that moisture and flavor, the natural flavor of the turkey comes out with the brine, and whatever little additives that you put in there. But injections work really, really good too. If you want to do it in the morning before you cook it or the night before, injections add a lot more flavor, in my opinion. And I guess maybe call me kind of old school when it comes to turkey. I like kind of a traditional turkey, but on steroids. That's the way I'm going to call it. And I think the brines do help accomplish that. Now, I haven't tried Lucky Charms or the Cosmos brine. I'm sure they're fantastic. I think there's another one out there called Game Changer that's really, really good too. I've used that in years back, when in competition. It's an excellent brine too. There's a lot of really great brines out there. Um, but I do personally like to make my own because I can control both the salt content and the sugar and whatever other ingredients I want to put in there. Um, and there's just really no right way, wrong way. It's an endless possibility and potential to put your own flavor print, if you want to call it that, in there. I mean, you can put some onions, you can put some lemon in there, you can put more sugar, less sugar, you can put rosemary and sage. You can put all these great things in there at the level that you personally want to put in there.
So a lot of people do. So when I'm talking about competition chicken, some people do a lot of brines and
Yeah.
they take it out of the brine and they inject it. So what do you think
Yeah.
about that as far as a turkey?
I've done that in competition. It does work. And I will say what I've always said, at the end of the day, it's about balance. Um, so I don't think I would experiment on Thanksgiving Day. I don't recommend that. but I would maybe do a test run first, and that way at least if you didn't like it, you can throw it out, and not, piss everybody off at Thanksgiving Day. But yeah, it does work. I mean, you can do it both ways. It does work. I would say, maybe be a little more mild on your injection uh, flavor and the salt content and stuff because the brine already packs a lot of flavor in there.
How are you? And that you made an excellent point, and something I didn't think of. With it being this year, there is a lot of people that either can't get out, won't get out for various reasons. But you're right. I think some of the family gatherings may not be as large, unfortunately, as they have traditionally in the past.
Right.
How are you?
Right.
But you want that traditional Thanksgiving flavor, and so I do
Yes.
think there's a market for people running just turkey breast. Can we hit on that? On how you would treat just a turkey breast, Brian, or for techniques? Because something I didn't think of tonight, and it never fails. We get on the show, and it's something dawns on me. But I do think, given 2020 and what we're going through, and especially down in the valley, some of the gatherings may not be what they used to be size wise. For the people that are, how would you treat just the turkey breast?
You're 100% correct. There are going to be a much smaller gatherings at Thanksgiving, our own families included. And when you're cooking just a turkey breast, personally, I would brine it. And then if you want to inject it, as I said, you can maybe inject it lightly for a little extra flavor punch. But the whole trick to a turkey breast is like chicken breast, just don't overcook it. People have a tendency, there's this stereotype about chicken that you absolutely have to cook it till it's totally dry and burnt up, or you're going to get sick. And that just really is not true. I mean, once you get that internal temperature up to 160 degrees or so, maybe a little over, I mean, you're good. It's cooked. I personally like to take them to 165 and then take them out, let them rest a little while, and then slice into them. But yeah, I mean, it's just you want to get it out. You want to brine it for at least overnight, depending on the salt content. You brine 6% is really like the recommended percentage on salt on brines. So you want to brine it overnight, let it sit out a little while. Personally, I like to use parquet butter. Man, I should buy some stock in parquet butter. I'm always promoting parquet butter.
You can't get
I
it
should
anymore
really,
right now.
I should buy stock in parquet butter and foil.
It's hard to get. Arnie, that's hard to get right now, parquet butter.
Man, you ain't kidding, bro. Right? When I found it the other day, I bought 6 of them. I got sticking them in the refrigerator.
That's why we can't find them. Arnie's hoarded like people hoarded toilet
I'm
paper.
buying them all up, yeah. But definitely, I like to put a little parquet butter, but you can use like olive oil or canola or whatever your favorite oil is. Put a little bit of that as your binder and then put your seasoning on. I like to put my seasoning on a good 30, 40 minutes ahead of time. Let it kind of set on the counter while I'm getting the fire started. And then, once the fire gets settled in and stabilizes, I'll go put it on the grill and put a little bit of smoke on it. Another thing, you guys know me as my saying, those that have been around and follow me, I always have that saying of keep the smoke light. You don't want to over smoke, especially a turkey breast, because you're going to be burping that smoke, for a day or two if you overdo that. You got to keep the smoke light. You want that thin blue smoke or that translucent smoke, where it's just barely getting that smoke. What a lot of people don't realize, especially the newer folks, that if that smoke's in there and it's light, it's still flavoring that piece of meat, and sometimes they want to see that bunch of smoke coming out of there. And trust me, I did it when I started smoking meats too. I mean, I did it. And you're looking for that smoke and you're thinking it's amazing at first, and then later on, as time goes on and you get better at it, you realize that it just needs that little kiss of smoke to be just right.
It's funny you say that. Yeah, I had this past weekend. I was people. When you turn in your turn-in meat to whatever in the chicken category just happened, and I had 2 specific people that came up and let me try their chicken, and it was very smoky. And me personally love it. I thought it was really good, and I thought, man, those are the ones to beat because it had that smoke flavor and whatnot.
Yeah.
They didn't get a call, and maybe that comes to play with what you said, keep the smoke light, because personally, I loved it, but not everybody's going to what you mentioned, hey, that 6, 7, 8
Yeah.
thing comes in there.
It only takes 1 or 2 judges to kick out.
Maybe I would judge that a 9 or 10, and somebody would, oh, that's too much smoke, 4 or 5. So that comes into play with what you just said earlier. So keep the smoke light and make it work.
Yeah, and I can tell you as a judge, as an IBCA judge, when I was still a judge, you sit there and you watch those trays coming around the table, and you're watching the squirt sheets, and literally that does happen, Rob. I mean, you'll see a tray coming around, and you'll see 3 or 4 people put a 10 on it or a 9, and then all of a sudden the next guy will put a 2. You're going like, the hell's wrong with this dude, man? A 2, And right. So, and then the next one will be a 6, 7, 8 or whatever. There's always that one, right? So that's again what you just said. That's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons I've always kind of followed that strategy. Just you want everybody to like it, and I say they don't have to love it, but if they like it, it's good.
Right.
There's about 60 people on now, plus everybody that'll tune in later. We just have to make sure, and a lot of people already know this, but can we reiterate the fact that we don't want to use the damn plastic pop-up thermometer that comes on the bird?
Yes, absolutely, yes. Those things, like I say in my video, those things have ruined more turkey than anything. I mean, they're so inaccurate, and they just don't work at all sometimes. And you know what happens sometimes when you're prepping that turkey and you're rubbing it and moving stuff around. I mean, I think that throws some of that off, and maybe it's not in just the right spot, because every smoker, barbecue grill, or even every oven has its own personality, I call it, its own little idiosyncrasies on how it likes to run and how it works. So maybe it's extra hot on this side and the popper's on this side. So by the time it pops, this side of the turkey's already toast, And I'm going to share this story with you guys just yesterday, I mean, we cooked this turkey on that stick burner, and it was one of those surprises, make it work deals where the turkey, when I showed up in the morning, it still had it literally had a block of ice inside the cavity. I'm like, holy cow. So I'm poking the ice out with a knife, finally got it out, and I ran some cool water through it and thought I had it completely thawed. But that turkey breast yesterday was already at 178 by the time the thighs were at 155. And I still needed at least 10 more degrees on the thighs, and I normally like 175. But because we didn't want to overcook that breast too far, we just pulled it. As soon as those thighs hit 162.3, we pulled it, and it turned out pretty good anyway. But that's the thing. You don't know where the different hot and cold zones in every cooker, it can be a big problem for those pop-ups. So if they got those pop-ups, throw it away, man. Get you a good ThermaWorks, ThermaPan, or a ThermaPop. They're like $20 or $30, man. They really, really do work. They do a great job.
So Brian McBride asked a question: do you do the turkey like a comp chicken, peel the skin off and rub the meat, or just season the outside?
I do not rub under the skin. Now, that does add a lot of great flavor. It's a great technique. Me personally, I like just a good brine turkey. I like to season it and put a little extra salt on the skin before it goes to the cooker. That salt helps to dry the skin out a little bit. It still never really comes out crispy, but it turns out good enough where you can eat it. And so I don't do it that way. A lot of people do, and it does add great flavor for sure. But that's just not my personal preference.
So I know you touched on it a little earlier, but spatchcock.
Hi, Brian. Good to see you, bud. Good to hear from you.
Spatchcock turkey versus whole. Do you keep it whole? What's your preference as far as cooking it wise? Say a lot of these guys are competition cooks, and they got people that go, hey, can you cook me a turkey? And so they got 4 or 5 people that come in. So you're cooking 4, 5, 6, 7 at the same time. Mm-hmm. You keep them whole, maybe spatchcock them. What's the preference for Arnie here?
Me personally, I like a whole turkey, and I love a spatchcock. I love a fried turkey. I love all the turkeys. I love my mom's baked turkey, but I personally prefer a whole turkey because I love the breast. I love that breast meat and the wings. And I love it when those wings turn out a little extra crispy. Ooh, man, that's some good eating right there.
Speaking
Spatchcock
of
is great
one,
if you want to
go ahead.
save time and you're running behind or whatever, or you just don't want to get up at 5 in the morning to get it prepped and cooked. Spatchcock that dude. It cooks in a couple hours. You're done, man, and it still turns out really, really good.
Earlier, Joe asked about wrapping or leave it be. I know you wrap the wingtips, things like that on the video. Is there any other time that you would ever wrap the whole bird to help? Any comments
Yes.
on wrapping?
Yes, the whole wrap thing, I think, just depends on where you're at on color and temperature. Yesterday's bird, we didn't show it in the pictures, but I did cover that turkey about the last 30 minutes or so because there comes a point where it has like a little too much smoke, a little too much color. And at that point, I cover it loosely. I don't wrap it tight because I don't want it to get extra hot. A lot of times when you're cooking a little bit hotter, we were at 300, 320 yesterday, that skin will split. And I'm sure a lot of you comp guys have seen that happen to your chickens when you're cooking too hot. That can also happen to your turkey. So when I cover it, I'll usually cover it loosely, and that way it still breathes a little bit. So I covered it about the last 30, 35, 40 minutes maybe, and then pulled it when it hit the temperature that we were looking for. But yeah, it's okay to cover it. It's okay to cover the wing tips. I did cover the drumstick tips yesterday too, because in a stick burner, the heat flows from one side to the other, right? And I initially started with the drumsticks facing the fire. And here's a pro tip for you, Case. You want to start it that way so that your thighs and your drumstick get up to temperature a little bit higher than the breast initially, so that when it finishes, hopefully your breast is 165 and your thighs are 175. And so I always start it that way with the drumstick and the thighs towards the heat. Stick burners, I was saying, blow that way. So they might tend to cook a little bit more than you want them to. It's okay to wrap them. It's okay to wrap the wingtips too to prevent them from burning. If you're looking for that pretty presentation, definitely you want to do that.
And we were joking before.
How about a pro tip real quick for the competition cookers out there for chicken?
Mm-hmm.
Temping the thigh versus temping the breast. Where do you like to turn in?
Yeah, I mean, and I have a video about that on YouTube also. I personally like to temp the man. That Tito's works pretty good, don't it?
That was a question. That was
a question. What was in the glass?
What's in the glass, Arnie? What's in the glass? That was a question, by the way.
That was a question. What's in the glass? I was going to say Ozarka.
Hey, this is one of our favorite drinks is Tito. Terry's number one favorite drink is Tito's, and I like Tito. With in place of tequila for my margarita. This is a margarita. I'm calling it the Tito Rita. It's good stuff, man. If you've never tried a Rita with vodka with Tito's, you need to try it, man. It's good stuff.
All right.
But
for some of you that are still doing the big Thanksgiving gathering, you need to know the drinks too.
The question was for the competition chicken cooks out there. What's temp in the thigh versus temp in the breast when turn-in happens?
Yeah, absolutely. And like I was saying before I got off track, I like to, if this is your thigh, right, I like to come around the backside of the thigh and stick the thermopin through the skin and bounce it off of the bone. The bone is the coldest part of the chicken. It takes the longest to get up to temperature. So once that bone hits 170 to 175, I prefer 175 at the thigh. That tells me the chicken's done. In my opinion, there's absolutely no reason to be probing the breast. Now, some guys, may do it different than I do, and that's okay too. I know some guys like to go through the other side on the front part of the breast. But again, like I said earlier, every cooker's different. So it depends on how the heat flows and how your cooker likes to cook. If you think that your breast is going to overcook and that's your way of making sure it doesn't, that's okay to do that. That's another one of my mantras. Ain't no right way, wrong way, man. I mean, whatever works for you, that's the right way.
Damn it, Rob. Can we get back? Try not to screw up Thanksgiving.
What's that, Case?
Try not to screw up Thanksgiving, Rob. Can we get back to turkey here?
Yeah, let's get back to turkey.
I'm joking.
Ask him a question.
So the video that I know you'll post again, just because it's more famous. Has anything changed? Flavor profile on the outside? I know you use Juicy Pig. A couple things. Or is a chicken seasoning, in line with turkey? What's your feeling on the outside? something that balances well with turkey? Or you mentioned earlier you were working on something personally. Now a year later you can work on your own kind of pork rub. Do you have a flavor profile that people could possibly lean to?
Like I said earlier, I'm kind of a traditional guy when it comes to turkey, and I'm gonna say this also, that turkey is poultry, right? Whatever works on chicken works on turkey. We talked about the brines that are commercially available earlier. They're basically made for chicken. They work on turkey as well. They work great. Injections, same thing. I have in the past at our home injected my turkeys with my competition chicken injections, and everybody just like, oh my god, it's like the most wonderful turkey of their life, and me, we're comp guys, we're like, well, it's okay, give me the regular turkey, right? But it is a good way to make that turkey really, really great. I'll give you an example. Yesterday's turkey we injected with the chicken broth and a couple of seasonals and little spices, and then a little bit of sugar and honey, just to kind of balance everything out. I ran some chicken fajita seasoning from Fiesta, some chicken rub, and then some of Wild Bill's pork and chicken rub for that little extra hint of sweet, which that pork and chicken rub is basically the competition Juicy Pig that Bill puts out. So that's a real good flavor profile. Now that's, again, like I said so many times, there's so much personal preference when it comes to cooking. But pretty much anything that works on chicken will work on turkey as well. I've done turkey with just salt and pepper, man, and it's like a brisket, you do a brisket with salt and pepper and it's fantastic. But, it seems like that in today's age and we all eat out so much and take home so much. Our whole palate, our flavor profile has changed. Everything has gotten a little bit sweeter and a little saltier at the same time, if that makes any sense. So it's okay to pump up the flavors, to inject it, to brine it, and to add some other things in there that will make it pop a little bit more. I mean, I hadn't heard that word pop in a long time. That used to be the big catchphrase in competition. I want to say like 2012, 2014. I mean, it's got to pop. It's got to pop, But, you want it to really taste good. For sure. You want to wow your friends and your family. And, if y'all haven't seen our turkey video, go to YouTube, watch our turkey video. I think we have 2 or 3 turkey videos in there. There's one cooking one, and then the others are like tips and stuff like that. But you'll definitely pick up some stuff. But I tend to ramble a lot. But back to the question, I'm sorry. Yeah, pretty much your rubs are good. I mean, your chicken rubs will all work. Aaron Leslie has an awesome Barnyard Pimp's, a really good chicken rub. I personally love his what's the rib one called? The pork rib rub he has. I forget the name of it.
Piggy Bank.
Piggy Bank. I mean, that stuff's awesome on chicken. I prefer that even over the hen. Juicy Pig is really, really good, but it is a low salt rub. So I like to have my salt base like I did yesterday, like either the Fiesta stuff or any other one that has a little more salt on it. And then the Juicy Pig has some good garlic and a little hint of sugar and stuff. That's some really, really good stuff right there on any kind of poultry or pork.
Do you have a certain temp that you're looking to run a turkey on?
I like to cook at 300. That's kind of my personal preference, pretty much on everything all the time. I will say this, though. If you cook a little lower and a little slower, and for me, that means 275, no less than 250. My personal experience doing that way does render a much juicier piece of meat, whether it's ribs or chicken or turkey. So if you really want it to be juicy, cook it a little bit slower.
Making notes.
That's a good point.
If I nail Thanksgiving, I'm going to have to send Arnie a Christmas card.
Thank you. Remember what I said earlier on the way I cooked that breast? I put it at 255. I never went over 275 on that RecTech. So that, I think, is part of the key as to why that breast turned out super, super juicy. Just one of the things that happens when you're cooking meat, and I always advocate, if you're going to cook hot at the beginning and then slow it down after you wrap or the second half of the cook. Once that internal temperature starts to get high and elevate and get hotter, you start to push out some of that moisture, the collagen, if the meat has collagen and connective tissue, and you lose some of that delicious juiciness. And so you want to slow down at the end and keep that flavor and the moisture inside the meat and not push it out.
So, Arnie, you have a couple questions. Do you have any
Shoot.
experience with turkey wrapped with bacon?
I do not. I have never actually done that. I've seen pictures of it on social media, but I've never actually done it myself. Yes, good opportunity for that. But I can tell you this: more butter, more better; more bacon, more better. So I mean, anything with bacon is going to be better. Period. You know, so I would definitely eat that turkey. I guarantee you that much.
There's also a question: are you running the same type of temp with a drum smoker versus an offset versus a pellet smoker? You trying to stay 300 no matter what, or do you have a preference on the three different kind of, and even like a hasty bake? So you got a hasty bake, an offset, a drum, or a pellet smoker. You trying to stay in that same area?
You know, I personally do more or less try to stay in the 275 to 300 range, but I will say this, that every cooker cooks a little bit different. So that old adage of know your heat and know your meat really comes into play. You have to know your cooker and how it likes to cook. I can tell you that on the drum, and this is another pro tip for the drum guys or the guys that are new to drums, that drum, if it has a flat lid and the grates right down here, this little area becomes a microwave. And even though the gauge says 300, there's a lot of radiant heat and heat bouncing off of the top of that lid. That tends to really give a great color to the skin, but it also helps it cook a lot more even. Whereas on the hasty bake, you're cooking indirect, or at least I do, and you've got a heat down below your meat, but indirect to the side. So you get a little bit more heat under the turkey, and then a little bit comes over the top, but not as much as the drum. If you're cooking on a stick burner, it's still 300 degrees, but it's running from side to side. So you got to kind of monitor your color. That's how you can tell how that turkey's cooking and where it's cooking faster than the other parts of the turkey by how it looks. And I'm a big advocate of rotating, especially on a stick burner. Maybe not so much on the drum because it's kind of coming up and going out. But on the stick burner, I definitely want to rotate that turkey at least one time during the cooking process. Like yesterday, you know, I mean, I noticed my drumsticks and the thighs getting plenty of color because the heat was coming this way. So I rotated around the other way and made sure that the breast side of the turkey also got the same color and also got to get up to temp where it needed to be. So at the end of the day, you do need to know your cooker, but generally 300 is still 300. However, as I said earlier, sometimes the hot spots are different in different types of cookers. The airflow is a little bit different. It's not like cooking in an oven. You know, an oven, they tell you to put them at 400 degrees or 450. It works in an oven because there's no airflow. It's just radiant heat. And so that works different than a barbecue smoker. The smoker runs a lot of air. So yes, it's good to have a little water pan in there to keep the moisture up. And it's also good to rotate. It's good to pay attention. You know, if you're cooking on a stick burn, I'm going to tell you right now, you better sit there and watch that, dude, because it's not like the pellet grill where you can go set the button and go watch TV. It's not like the drum where you can leave it there for at least 3 hours and walk away. You definitely got to pay attention on a stick burner. They're very temperamental in most cases. And just the wrong amount of airflow, or if the wind changes direction a little bit, you might get a little bit of that dirty smoke. And you want good, clean smoke. And that's going to get you that really, really good color and that really good tasting bird as well.
Man, for those that are wondering about Arnie Segovia and what he knows, he's giving y'all all kinds of knowledge right here. So,
told you Arnie was going to save Thanksgiving.
Arnie is going to save Thanksgiving for you guys.
There is no loobies, guys. I'm telling you, there's no loobies.
So what you're hearing right now is nothing what you get in his classes. Arnie, you're the only class I've ever taken. So that means a little something. But you're the only class I've ever taken as far as barbecue. And I did enjoy that. That was at the Wild Bill's class back in, I don't know, probably 2018, whatever it was.
He still hasn't shared a single note, Arnie.
Yeah.
You were there. What do you mean notes? You were there.
Yeah.
I got I stayed in the corner. I wasn't I wasn't trying to soak up.
I
Okay,
saw that recorder you had.
Whatever. Kate showed up a little early, but we did do that little shot. We had that Appalachian sipping cream that night, so
Man,
that was all good.
that was some good stuff, Hey, I
But
talked to Wild Bill today, as a matter of fact, just, coincidence. And in case anybody didn't know, he moved to a new place, and man, he's cranking out the good stuff. So y'all go see Bill if you're in the Houston area. Give him a shout out or go see him and get some of his product. That's one really, really cool dude, man. He's just
he
a
is.
good guy, man. Good old boy.
He is. You're getting a lot of love right now. You're not in the Hall of Fame for nothing. Gil Martinez, one of the top cookers out in Texas right now. Arnie Segovia's true friend. You know exactly what brings good barbecue to the table. And if the people were to listen to you and what you mentioned earlier in your 6, 7, 8, you know, what you strive for, that's going to put you in the winner's circle. So if you guys are looking for a class out there, Arnie Segovia is one to take for sure. I'm a big believer in you, man. I appreciate what you've done.
Appreciate that, Rob.
And I appreciate you what you're coming on to the show to talk about. And like Case said, Case, what'd you say? He's doing what?
Saving Thanksgiving. So yeah,
Saving.
I was getting ready to brine the hell out of a butterball because I just figured that's what you did. So
no, not a butterball, man. No. I would
someone's recommended that I just need to have Arnie cook my turkey. The problem is the logistics on that one.
Yes.
The valet to Dickinson, I don't know what we would do to keep it warm, but I do appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Hey, we're only 7 hours away, so if you want to just camp out here that night and then drive home with a cooked turkey,
yeah,
you might make it in time for dinner.
Of course, I was also convinced that you were drinking water tonight on the show, so there you go.
No.
Arnie, do you have any classes lined up here coming up, or do you have a schedule lined up for 2021?
For 2021, it's still kind of up in the air. I think 2021 is going to be what we were hoping 2020 would be. We want to go out and do some of the big IBCA cook-offs and just kind of have fun, see our friends, and throw our hat in the ring and hopefully score well. And we want to try a couple of KCBS events. That's always been a big goal of mine, to go out there. We live so dang far away. It takes 8 hours to get out of Texas through Houston, and it takes 14 hours to get out of Texas through DFW area, up 35 from where I live. So it's a little bit harder, man, to go do some of those events for us. But hopefully next year we'll be able to do that. We've been invited to go teach some classes in I think it's Tennessee and Virginia and one of the Carolinas. I forget which one it was. And we would have been there all day long already if it wasn't for COVID. With Terry's situation and stuff, and it's a little bit harder to make those impulsive decisions. But
Sure.
Next year, we got it all taken care of. Hopefully, God's been on our side this year. We've been super blessed this year in spite of all the stuff going on. And so we're just very humbled and grateful for that. Hopefully 2021 will be the year we get back out on the road and have some fun doing the stuff that we love to do, which is share barbecue knowledge and help people learn how to cook great barbecue, whether it's a turkey case or a brisket or even a chicken fajita like the couple I made the other day. Yeah, we have a ton of videos that we have in our list that we're going to be adding to our classes. I'm just going to give myself a plug here, right? We have the complete online pitmaster class. It started out as a basic barbecue competition class and some backyard stuff, but we have this big list of stuff we're going to be adding to that, and that's all included for the one-time prize. We're not going to charge you at the end of the year or next year and that kind of stuff. We're just having fun doing what we love to do, man. We want to share the barbecue knowledge with everybody and anybody who's willing to listen and who wants to get out there and cook some great barbecue with their family and friends, or even in competition. That's what we love to do, and that's what we're hoping to do in 2021, both in person and through our online classes as well.
Awesome. So you were real big in the 80s, and with Nintendo, and so
I also had 4-inch clogs back in the 80s.
What is your plan? What is your plan to compete with the new PS5? What is Nintendo is going to do for the PS5?
Say what?
We finally stumped him.
You're like, what? I'm like,
I mean, you're the best.
You're
the best Mario brother we got out there, bro.
No,
I think Stephen Oler referred you as a Mario brother. I'm just saying.
Okay,
you're the best
that's
Mario
Wild Bill
out there.
too. Wild Bill's always calling me Little Mario. Cheating guy.
So, Oscar asked Arnie, do you do pizza in the pit class?
Do I do what?
Pizza on your pit class.
I have yet to cook a pizza on my barbecue pit, and you know what? It's really weird because I've been wanting to do it for a couple of years, and it's just like seems like we're always going 100 miles an hour, and then we forget what we were going to do, and I blame it all on the 5G. But anyway, my kids are going to get mad that I said that. But anyway, I always got something going on. We're always super busy. This year, even with COVID and whatever and staying home, we have not had a lot of downtime. We've had something going on all year long. We moved, got another house, sold our real property, and it's been one thing after another. It's just been 2020 for us. But it's been exciting. It's been fun. We've been very blessed. But I have not done a pizza. But thank you for reminding me. That's one of my bucket list items. I'm definitely going to do it. And that also sounded like another great video opportunity, doesn't it?
Arnie, you've been amazing. I told Arnie when I talked to him, I said, hey, it'll probably last 20, 30 minutes. And here we are an hour and 9 minutes into this thing.
Hasn't been that long? Oh, shoot.
Yes, that's because you've been awesome. You've been awesome. Arnie, you've been amazing.
Hopefully we didn't bore everybody.
Absolutely not. You're a true ambassador for IBCA, for barbecue out there. And if anybody wants a barbecue class, everybody, a lot of comments have been happening. How can they find out about your class? Where can they find out about ArnieTex?
Black Friday sale too. No,
yeah, we're having a big Black Friday sale. The price, my son and I have 2 boys. They live in San Antonio right now, and they are my business partners in the whole ArnieTex Pitmaster Class project. And so we do a lot of discussion and planning, and we decided that we're going to have this huge Black Friday sale, and we've had a good year by God's grace. And after the Black Friday, we're going to go ahead and raise the prices a little bit. So if you really, really want to get in on the bargain basement price, you need to take advantage of that before Black Friday. You can find us on Instagram under ArnieTex, under Twitter under ArnieTex, and under YouTube ArnieTex, and Facebook. My Facebook page is probably my biggest following and the one that we're probably the busiest, the most, Facebook and Instagram. I really enjoy doing Instagram because it's so quick, it's easy. You do the little stories and they get shared to my ArnieTex story as well. And so I like doing that. But that's where you can find us. And if not, just look us up. My email is info@arnietex.com or arnie@pitmasterclass.us. Either one of those will work if you're not on social media. But of course, you wouldn't be watching this show either if you weren't, right? But yeah, look us up on Facebook. The links are there. If not, shoot me a message. This has become a full-time job for me, and I love it. I spend probably a minimum of half of my days answering emails, messenger messages, and text messages. Just people have questions. Arnie wants to answer them and help people cook great barbecue, man. That's my goal, and that's my vision, and that's my purpose in life, to help people cook great barbecue.
Brother, that's amazing. And the fact that you're taking that time, and that's what you get when you get a class from him. You get access to him. He's
a lot of access.
He spends half of his day answering emails. So you guys
we also have a private Facebook page for the people that take our complete Pitmaster class, online Pitmaster class. We have a private Facebook page where not only I answer questions, but there's also other cooks on there that give advice and answer questions if I'm not around. And then I always chime in also. But a lot of great people there. It's a good group of folks there that are in there, and we all like to help each other out. So that's another big bonus you get by joining the complete Pitmaster class.
There you go. Case?
I can tell you this, Arnie. I appreciate you coming on and possibly saving Thanksgiving. And so, you know, been blessed to run into you down the road at the rodeo, and we went golf cart ride and things like that, and we thought that's how it was always going to be. I'll tell you that 2020 is throwing a hell of a curveball, and I have a close friend that coaches in Refugio, and not a lot of people don't realize the impact that the Valley has had. That they've probably taken the blunt of this one worse than some of our other areas. So, I'm glad that you and Terry are doing well. Stay safe. Happy Thanksgiving from me, Gary, and Katie. And you likely just saved our bird. So good job. Thank
you. I hope I did. And my number, Case, and my message. I mean, just if you ever need help, that's what I'm here for, man. I'm here to help anybody out. Anybody who's interested. I get a lot of messages, a lot.
And Arnie, I just want to tell you, thank you very much for coming on the show the second time. This is the first time was not a live show. The first time was a podcast show. So thanks for coming back on. You may be the only Hall of Famer that we've had on this show so far. So
your phone's going to be ringing as soon as we hang up. Right?
I know.
Not his, mine is.
You're adding some legitimacy to this show, man, and we're looking for some. So thank you very much.
Before we go, I'll say one more thing. Just stay tuned. This has been a stay-at-home year for us. So another thing I've been working on, I've got a brisket rub I've been working on for a couple of years, and I keep promising to put it out there. But I'm going to be honest with y'all, it was not perfect what I wanted it to be, and that's why it never got put out yet. But I've gotten a lot closer recently. I've got that pork and chicken rub I've been working on that's really, really good. And then I've got an all-purpose that I've been working on that's really good as well. So by the end of the year, for sure, by early 2021, those will be on the market, man. So y'all be looking for it, man. We're looking forward to, again, this is another way that I'll be sharing some of my barbecue love with the rest of the world, hopefully.
Case and Arnie, can we get first dibs?
I got to talk to Craig first.
I ain't talking to you.
Yeah,
Arnie, can we get
send me your mailing address? Send me your mailing address because I need feedback on some stuff. So I'll send y'all some free samples.
Oh man, there we go.
Just because it's you guys.
That's right. That's it. There he was, Arnie Segovia, ArnieTex. He's giving you some Thanksgiving advice. He's giving you some. Oh, this man is one of our first Hall of Famers to be on the show. We appreciate you, Arnie. Thank you so much. Say goodbye, Arnie. We want to say goodbye to your friends here, buddy.
Thank you, Case. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you for all the love that ArnieTex gets from everybody all over the place. And we appreciate each and every one of you guys, man. We love doing what we do. And if we can help y'all in any way, man, just shout out, reach out to us either by email or messenger. We love all of y'all. Thank you, Rob. Again, thank you, Case. Love both of you guys. And sure look forward to seeing you guys here pretty soon. I told Bill I'd be up there hopefully before the year's end. And maybe if we do make it up to the Houston area, we'll see you guys up there too, hopefully.
Thank you, brother. We love you. We love you and Terry. God bless Terry. Praying for you guys.
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Yep, absolutely. All right, man. Love you guys.
Thanks for having me, guys. Y'all have a good night, and God bless you guys.
All right, there he was. There he was, Arnie Segovia. Man.
Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer joining the show, Case. What do you think about that?
And to the point, obviously, it's got to be on your resume before you become a member of the Hall of Fame. So, start calling us, guys. And so, man, oh, man, lots of information. This show will be posted on the Facebook page. It'll be available on iTunes and Apple. The videos are there. Arnie said he's going to repost it. I had to go. You can scroll through. He's no lie. He's got a ton of video content on his Facebook page. It's really good. He's a hell of a follow on social media. And then you heard it. All right. If you want to get in on the Tell-All Barbecue class, Rob took it in person, and it's all available to you online. So if you're not in Texas, you're not going to try to catch him down the road, or be safe at home. The content's available online, and it's a one-time deal. So just sign up for the big class. Sounds like, and get it before Black Friday with Arnie. God, I hope my wife's watching. So everybody wants to know what to get Case for Christmas. If y'all want to pitch in together, that'd be great. Because God knows I need it. I felt like he was calling me out though when he said, if you only cook twice a year, Man, he's
That's true.
speaking to my
Dude,
soul.
yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Real
What a
quick,
great ambassador barbecue.
We do have to do the recap for the bull printing recaps that we got sponsored by Bull Printing Wraps and Graphics. So we're going to go to Beeville, which happened because we do have to give some shout outs to people that got the walks. We're going to go chicken, top 5, John Segura, 2 Live Q, Roger Hernandez, Texas County Smokers, Liz Shamlian, Hot Mess Cookers, and Jerry Cardenas, Lotus Smoke, and Matias Serrata, our good friend, Pit Boss Smoker, had a first place chicken out in Beeville. We're gonna go to pork spare ribs, Ram Benitez, Two Brothers Barbecue, Daniel. What?
I know that guy.
You know him. Daniel Doran or Daniel Duran, Getting Sauce Barbecue, John Segura, another one, 2 Live Q, Liz Shamlian, Hot Mess, and our good friend Ira Green, Flying G Barbecue, had a first place pork spare rib.
Boom.
5th place, man, this guy's all over the place. John Segura, 2 Live Q, Raul Del Rosa, RVJ G, sorry.
Rio Grande Valley.
Yeah. Border Bandits, Ira Green, Flying G, Justin Flores Family Grillers, and Maribel Cuellar.
Justin had a long drive to get to the Beeville cook-off, didn't he?
I know, he did. So we're going to go to top 5 overall. Top 5 overall was Justin Flores Family Grillers with 14 points. Renee Gonzalez Family Barbecue, 15 points. Man, you get over 15, you're doing good. Liz Shamlian, Hot Mess Cookers, 18 points. Ira Green, the RGC Flying G Barbecue, 18 points. And John Segura, 2 Live Q, was a GC down in Beeville with 20 points.
John, he had a hell of a day.
So that was October 30th, 31st. We're going to go back to October 31st, and we're going to go Friends for Wishes cook-off. I was there. Case.
You had a good day.
I did. I had a good day.
Not as good as your kids, but continue.
Yeah, I know. My kids won. Oh, real quick, we're gonna go to the kids queue for the Friends Wishes cook-off.
Just the top 2.
Top 2. Actually, we'll go top 3 because I know them. Top 3 in the open category was Dakota Smith from First Class Barbecue. 2nd place, Eli Arocha, Bullhorn Barbecue. 1st place, Evan Arocha, Bullhorn Barbecue. So we're gonna go to the pork chop category.
Mad Dog Barbecue and Baby Bullhorn.
Yeah,
we can finally adopt the Bullhorn name.
We can do that too. In pork chops, Dakota Smith, First Class Barbecue, 3rd place. 2nd place was Evan Arocha, Killer Dog Barbecue.
There you go.
Pork chop. And in 1st place was Baby Bullhorn, Eli Arocha, pork chop. Now let's
keep everything happy in the house because that was the perfect equal points.
Brother, it wasn't at this point. I was feeling some pressure. So we're gonna go chicken category. Michael Triola, part of Team Dairy Cone.
Eating DC.
No, Rich's Raiders, number 2, Michael Triola, 5th place chicken. 4th place was William Harrison, Heavenly Smokers. 3rd place, Rob Arocha, Smokin Gooder Show.
Bullhorn.
3rd place chicken. 2nd place was Tom Clark, JC's Good Old Boys. 2nd place chicken. 1st place chicken was Adam Martinez, Damn If I'm Poe. This was a field of 7.
I heard that Adam guy can cook good chicken.
He can cook good chicken. It's 71 field of 71 teams. 5th place, pork spare ribs, Eddie Morales, the Pit Father Barbecue. 4th place was Rob Arocha.
Whoa, 2 calls? What?
Smokin Gooder Show. 71 teams, 2 top 4s. Pretty good. 3rd place was Phil Breeden, Lucky Charms. 2nd place, pork spare ribs, Johnny Dunn, cooking for Texas Chrome Hero Foundation. 1st place was Todd Nelson, Double Barrel Cookers. So we'll go to brisket category.
A lot of people know Todd's the second most famous cook from the Colorado County area behind me.
Yeah. Second, we're going with the brisket category. We'll give a spoiler alert. I did not get a call here. Fifth place was Philip Czech Cherokee Cookers. Fourth place, Adam Martinez. Damn if I'm Poe. Third place, Dennis Butterworth. War Pig Barbecue.
Close friend of the show.
Close friend of the show. Phil Breeden, second place, Lucky Charms. And first place brisket was Michael Triola, Rich's Raiders. Again, 71 teams went down to Hempstead, Texas to compete in the Friends for Wishes cook-off. Top 5, we're going to go Johnny Dunn, Texas Chrome Hero Foundation with 14 points. Robert Rocha, So Smokin' Gooder Show with 15 points. Adam Martinez, Damn If I'm Poe, 17 points. Phil Breeden, RGC Lucky Charms with 17 points. And Michael Triola. Congratulations, Team Dairy Cone, Michael Triola.
Boom! Team Dairy Cone, baby.
Rich's Raiders number 2, 21 points. Man, he had a day. So we're going to go to last weekend. I know everybody's interested. We went from 50 teams or 50 people watching to 23, but that's cool.
They're pumped. Arnie's gone.
And the only 23 people watching that are going to get their name called right here. So
here we go.
57 teams in attendance at the 2920 Roadhouse Cook-Off. Rubs to Riches Cook-Off. It was a badass cook-off. Maria Henry and crew did an amazing job. The venue was a beautiful venue. So we're going to go with fifth place chicken, Randall Kendrick Hideaway Ranch Cookers. Fourth place chicken, Robert Rocha, So Smokin' Gooder Show. William Purvis, we know him as Bill. Chicken fried barbecue.
I'm just glad he came back to cook some IBC events. He was
traveling. I know. He's a big KCBS cooker now. Second place was Sean Whitlatch, the Backyard Meats. And in first place, our good buddy, Gammy Perez, Cypress Backyard Cookers. In pork spare ribs, fifth place was Kurt Harbor's CC's Country Barbecue.
Shout out to LaGrange, Texas.
Absolutely. Fourth place, Scott Olson, Sonny Jim Barbecue. Third place, Eddie Morales, the Pit Father. Second place was Bill Manning, BJ's Blue Smoke Barbecue. In first place, the guy is on fire, Phil Breeden with Lucky Charms Barbecue. So we're going to go to brisket number in fifth place, Jamie Roby, Texas Smoke. In fourth place, Caleb Warden. Kitchen Cajun Smokehouse. Third place, Kevin Caldwell, Holy Smoked Cookers. Second place, Bill Breeden, On Fire, Lucky Charms. And in first place, he got a big hug from Jason Sagmiller.
He did.
Alan Freeman with Chicken Kapow. I think I said that right.
Also an ambassador, Texas Pepper Jelly.
Is he?
Yes.
Nice.
He's by far way more talented than me. So the fact that we have to share being ambassadors is probably an embarrassment to Alan.
So are you an ambassador right now for Race Crew Barbecue?
Jason commented earlier, said I look good in orange. And I said, woo!
All right, top 5 overall. Randall Kendrick Hideaway Ranch Cookers with 9 points. Gammy Perez Cypress Backyard Cookers with 10 points. Alan Freeman Chicken Kapow with 10 points. Bill Manning BJ's Blue Smoke Barbecue with 11 points. 11 points got you RGC. That's saying.
How many people were in Hempstead? How many points did you have?
I had 15. No, I had 17. Did I have? I don't know.
Sorry, not to start.
Thank you, Case. I appreciate it. And with less teams, this mind you, 57 teams this weekend. The GC was Phil Breeden, Lucky Charms Barbecue.
Way to go! He's been on the show.
He's been on the show, kicking ass, taking names. So,
and of course, all of those results, if you're still watching, you're waiting for your name, congratulations. If you got called, bigger congratulations if you specifically got booed by me. And but those are all brought to you by our friends at Bull Printing Wraps and Graphics. By far, super busy shop. I was in there yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. And so Katie and I went by. We had to go see Bobbert the monkey. And so not only can you go get the best wraps, large print banners, you get to see a damn monkey. So true story. Cheeto and Mary and everybody at the gang, they are the best in the business. They make Rob's trailer look good, my trailer look good. They've got new banners coming for Texas Pepper Jelly for me. They're the only place to go when you need that kind of stuff, that kind of work done.
Absolutely. Thank you, Case, for doing that. So Tom Fuentes is awesome show as always, fellas. Tom Fuentes, I'm thinking about going to Traders Village next weekend in San Antonio. Who all will be in San Antonio next weekend? I don't know.
CJ Bean.
I'm hoping CJ Bean. I'm hoping Clarence Joseph. I'm hoping Thomas Fuentes. Andre Trevieux. Can we get him out of retirement? Who knows? Who knows? We'll see. Maybe Ernest Cervantes. Maybe Carlo Casanova.
Are you just name dropping at this point?
No, I'm hoping to compete against him next weekend. We'll see. John Segura will be there. That's
Boom.
good.
There you go. We got John.
That's good. We got one that will be there.
More importantly, if you compete in San Antonio, you can stop at the Dairy Cone. So.
Oh, he said we're all going to be there.
Including CJ Bean.
Can he get Andre there? Is Andre going to be there, Tom?
Ooh, Uncle Dre.
Who knows?
Anyway, awesome show tonight, Rob. Thanks for everybody that got on. Before I wrap up, one of these things, I had a conversation with Rob the other day, and there's about 18 of us on us. So, but there's a lot in this world going on, a lot of craziness. But I called Rob the other day, and I asked him, what's the first thing that comes to mind when I say Kids Unlimited or Kids Unlimited Cook-Off? And immediately our conversations go to the GC and the Grand Champion that we enjoyed. Rob enjoyed back in 2015. Wade was there. It was hot, man.
We enjoyed.
But the other day in my store, family came in with a young man who was college age, and one of my employees was helping his parents purchase some stuff. And we were just chit-chatting, and somehow the conversation came up about me being from Columbus, and he had mentioned that he'd gone to a fishing tournament on Fayette Lake, just north of Columbus, south of LaGrange. And that fishing tournament he'd gone to, he asked if I'd ever heard about Kids Unlimited. And it was kind of a weird question. Just, we knew Kids Unlimited. A lot of cooks out there know Kids Unlimited because of the cook-off in Pearland. Here's the amazing thing about the conversation. He immediately turned to me and he said, "Thank you for supporting Kids Unlimited because I was a kid that was being treated for childhood cancer in the med center." And you want to talk about, whoa, here he is, college age, doing well, he's healthy. But, a lot of times we do these events and, we're there obviously to talk trash, win prize money, bring some trophies home. But a lot of the events that we do have a much bigger cause. And I got on the phone and I called Rob right away just because I thought it was a good short story to share with everything going on in the world. It just kind of brought me kind of back in line to realize that there's a bigger purpose in a lot of things that we do. So I don't know what we'll do next week with Thanksgiving. I don't know if we'll have a show, but I do want to take this time to wish everybody who follows the show, the friends and myself and Rob, but a big happy Thanksgiving from myself and Carrie and our little one, Katie. We do have a lot of blessings here in 2020, and 2020's had impacts on a lot of people around us. So think about all those people as we get into the holiday season. Pick up the phone, call them, send a Christmas card, take care of each other. So I've been notorious for preaching the last couple of shows, but I'm going to preach again. So take care of each other, take care of yourself. But it's always a blast to come here and have an outlet just to talk to so many friends.
Absolutely, man. We had a great show. We had 80 people watching at one point. It's amazing. Shout out to Arnie Segovia with ArnieTex and Smokin Lone Star. We appreciate him coming on the show and sharing his knowledge. An IBCA Hall of Famer, which is really cool. Shout out to our sponsors, Eureka Heights Brewing Company, Rec Tech Grills, Rick's RV Rentals and Repair, Cosmos Q Products, Diamond Shine Products, Full Printing Graphic Graphics, and of course, the barbecue store, and
Texas Pepper Jelly, baby. So discounts are coming. I got you guys hooked up, I'm telling you. And so Craig asked if I was ready to start passing out some discounts. And I said, not just yet. So, but thanks everybody for tuning in. The comments, questions, hope we got some answers. Have a hell of a Thanksgiving and hope your turkey doesn't suck. And if it does, you can blame me. If it's badass, you can thank Arnie. How about that?
And I know a lot of people are not watching, but we will have another show this week. We're going to talk about the booing that happened at the 2920 Roadhouse. And we're going to be talking about maybe what's coming down the line with maybe some IBCA board shakeups. So that'll tune in next week.
Yeah. So he must not want me on the booing show.
I might be solo. I might be Han Solo next week. But I think I think Case will be down for that. We'll see. But
we appreciate you guys. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I don't have anything else from Dickinson. Rob, take care of yourself too. And guys, we'll see you down the road. Good night, Barbecue Nation, and I guess you too, California.
That's gonna wrap it up for the Smokin' Getter Show, episode number whatever it was. We appreciate you guys tuning in. 57 is what it was. 58, whatever it was. Anyway, we appreciate that. Case already did it. Good night, Barbecue World, and you too,
California.
Word. Late.